Germans, you know them, I know them. You may even know all the jokes about how Germans are humorless people who play Farming Simulator after getting home from their job at the forklift factory. And while you're all objectively correct in that statement, they also make TTRPGs. Perhaps the largest and most famous of these is The Dark Eye, or Das Schwarze Auge, originally developed in Germany in 1984 and gradually developing over the years through multiple publishers. The most recent edition is 5th edition, published by Ulysses Spiele, or however the fuck you choose to say it, and is the one we're going to be talking about today. The Dark Eye is German D&D. I'm not really going to sugarcoat it in that regard, but as with a majority of European D&D likes, it has drifted significantly from its roots. At its absolute basic, it's actually just a D20 roll under system, but that's also selling it short. So we'll need an example character to help explain some more detailed aspects. We'll make Gamli the dwarf warrior. The first thing we'll need to do is determine our experience level. You have 7 of these to pick from, though the standard level is experience with 1,100 adventure points. Your AP is how we're going to be buying various aspects of our character. Nearly everything we pick is going to be some variety of AP costs associated with it, and you will need to double check a vast majority of these things if it's your first time. Then we pick our race. Each one will provide our base life, spirit, toughness, movement, and modify our attributes. Dwarves cost 61 AP to choose, the most expensive by far due to our various bonuses. Now we have to choose a culture. Aventuria is the primary setting and is actually extremely well fleshed out with a lot of histories to work with, and you're going to need to read up on a lot of them if you want to be something other than German. As a dwarf, we have a few options to pick from, and these may look a little bit confusing at first. We need to buy these? Well, you don't have to buy a culture. You're buying a skill package associated with your culture, if you feel like it. So we're going to be a diamond dwarf for the sake of completeness. Next, we get to attributes. Attributes are where a majority of our rolls are coming from and are going to be D20 roll under. If you're attempting an agility check, you need to roll under your agility. Yes, there are 8 attributes, and yes, they may seem like they overlap sometimes. This is on purpose. Now, actually choosing your attributes as it's written is, well, a schizophrenic trying to commune with God, mostly because the game is trying to help you pre-calculate things as each attribute begins at 8 and up to 14 costs only 15 AP each. However, after that, it's increasing in cost, as we can only have a maximum of 14 in an attribute by the human default. This should be fine though, but sorry, races don't modify your attributes. They instead modify your maximum attribute. This can make things a lot messier. However, we're going to be using the 570 AP chart, option B, arranging our attributes as follows. We're not perfect, but we're trying. So we have our attributes and our race. Our diamond dwarf is currently worth 631 adventure points with 469 AP left for our professions and perks and skills. A profession can be seen as our career before becoming an adventurer. Each of these will have a set of abilities and skills that you can acquire by purchasing them with AP. So if we're a mercenary, we'd receive all of these benefits. Yes, you do learn about them dozens of pages after you get told about them in character creation. Don't think about it too much. With that advantage, we can now choose to invest in some perks that can help us, such as dwarf nose, exceptional senses, or just being a fat bastard. And if you're looking to play a cleric or magician, get ready for more in these particular categories, because that's what you're actually investing in. Now, there are also special abilities that are more special than the perks, you know, for reasons. But let's talk skills for a minute. There are a lot of skills in the Dark Eye, and with your 1100 points, you're going to be buying some from your race, profession, and your own purchases. So what are they and how do they work? Whenever you want to make a skill check, you're rolling 3d20 against 3 separate attributes tied to that skill. So making a singing check is actually a sagacity, charisma, and constitution check at once. Skill points allow you to modify these d20s to make them a success and determine the quality of the check for how many of them are actually remaining. Now that some of you have stopped vomiting blood or swearing vengeance against Farming Simulator, the system works. It's slow, it's a bit weird, and it's very German for how precise you can be. Natural talent is good, being skilled is great, but naturally talented and skilled in a field is the best you can probably get. It's also important to note that magical effects are also considered to be skills in this way, that quality level influencing actually a lot about how good your spell's going to be. After all of that, assigning various skills and abilities, quirks, and such, your hero to be, you're going to need to find some derived attributes. Double check your fate points because there's systematic currency in this game. Double check your combat attributes as they are significantly different than your skills, and you're dealing with magic stuff. That's your own problem to sort out, bozo. Gamli is a mercenary diamond dwarf trying to form outer dwarf heaven. This may seem overwhelming, and it is, but once you get through the malaise and details upon details, you start to piece together the most important aspect of things. Many details that the game throws at you as the multitude of text boxes and examples are either there to help you, explain something, or provide an optional rule of some variety. For everything, repeatedly, sometimes together. Once you get past, the rest of the game does click together somewhat, especially when the game decides to stop being detailed like combat. Combat doesn't have a grid or zones or anything, purely narrative of being within range. Attacking and defending are both checks that a character needs to make. Thus, I can successfully attack you, but you could parry it away. Then, oh no though, the details come back with a vengeance. And you need to double check if you're parrying ranged weapons with shields, or if you're defending yourself more often because you're just going to start getting overwhelmed with penalties. This isn't factoring encumbrance or pain or any other number of penalties that you can have. There is a lot more. I'm trying to create a video in under 30 minutes here to explain the game, so cut me a bit of slack. But here's the deal. The Dark Eye masquerades a lot of its complex parts under a really simplistic basic system. It's D20 roll under. You know how to do it. I know how to do it. We all know how to do it. But then it just adds little bits on top of it that you really need to consider. At its best, it's immersive and gets you into a headspace a lot more. Being a diamond dwarf is decidedly different than playing a glade elf mercenary or a middenland sorcerer or an orbod half-elf performer or anything, really. If you're dabbling in magic, you're going to get invested in the unique traditions. If you want prayer, you're going to be getting in on the multitudes of gods in the setting. And if you just want to be Big Dick McHitman, you still have options to differentiate yourself from others in the same category. At its worst, it feels incredibly bulky for an experience you already have a game for. Every time you see a mechanic, it's explained, and then there is stuff that creeps up. It's never just a roll, it's a quick check here and a double check over there because there's something you may have missed. It's never just combat, it's managing pain, encumbrance, and everything else. It's never just being written down. No, you have to sort through some quotes, and sometimes the wording is weird, and then it's flipping back and forth to make sure you're actually reading the correct section, all of which is decidedly ESL flavored sometimes. It's never just a fantasy game. It's a German fantasy adventure game. My name is Notepad, and this was The Dark Eye. If you like what I do here, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and many thanks to the Midland Bankers for their continued support. Godspeed, good luck, and have a lovely rest of your day.